Hello everyone, MC Tammer here, and this is a video tutorial on how to use my Customizable Companion Framework Models resource for Fallout New Vegas. This resource allows you to create your own custom follower, complete with companion wheel, who will earn experience points and level up as they travel with you, and when they do, you get to decide where they spend their skill points. So this is going to be as basic of a tutorial as I can make it. I'm going to try and be as thorough as I can, so even if you don't have any prior modding experience, you will hopefully be able to follow along. You're going to need to download several programs, and all the links are going to be in the video description below. So first off, you're going to need to download the GECK at geck.bethsoft.com, and you'll want to download the New Vegas version. Install that. You'll also need FNVEdit, Fallout Mod Manager, also known as FOM, or if you don't want to use this one, we only basically just need this for the archive extraction tool that is bundled with it, which I like, but if you have your own archive extraction tool that you want to use, that's fine too. And lastly, we need to download phonicsdata.cdf. The New Vegas GECK is actually missing this file, which it needs to create the lip sync files for spoken dialogue for NPCs. So this, well, mod, I guess, is that file which you need to install, and then you'll be able to create lip files directly within the GECK. So after you've downloaded all that stuff and installed it, you're going to need to download my Customizable Companion Framework, and when you've done that, we can load it up in the GECK. So select Customizable Companion Framework, set as active file, click OK, and just wait a few minutes for it to load. Okay, so now that the file is loaded, all the records that are added by this resource have the prefix AAA followed by the form type code for ease of sorting. So if you want a quick overview of all the records that are added by this mod, all you need to do is go to this filter field in the object window, type AAA, and then scroll to the bottom of this file tree in the object window, the very bottom, and select all. And this will give you a complete overview of all the records that are added by this resource. So I like to start by editing the NPC first. So scroll down here to AAA NPC Customizable Companion and double click on this to open up the window. You can change the name to whatever you like. So for the sake of example here, I'm just going to use John Doe. Here in this Traits tab, you can also change the race, the gender, the size of the companion. So in New Vegas, anything that's greater than 1 will make the NPC bigger. So for example, 1.25 would make him 25% bigger, and anything less than 1, 0.75 for instance, would make him only 75% of the height of a regular NPC. 0 is the same as 1 in this case, which is a little bit confusing, but you know, it just means don't change anything. Weight doesn't actually have any, doesn't actually do anything, so you don't need to bother with that. And one thing to keep in mind here is if you want to make your companion female, by clicking this checkbox here, it will automatically deselect this custom voice type, because the voice type right now is set to male by default. So here, if I check the female voice type, or the female checkbox, the voice type automatically gets deselected. What you're going to have to do if you want to make your companion female is scroll down here to the voice type, AAA VTYP Customizable Companion, double click on this, and choose the female from the gender drop-down menu. Click OK, and then go back up to the NPC, open it, and you'll see that the voice type has been set to the default, and you need to change it back to the custom voice type. I'm not actually going to do this because for the sake of ease, I'm just going to leave it male, so I'm going to revert these changes. But if you want to make your companion female, that's what you got to do. So you don't need to really worry about any of these other tabs just yet. Right now we're just going to edit the way the NPC looks, which we're going to do using the Face, Face Advanced, and Head Parts tabs. The Head Part tab, you can preview. This is what the NPC looks like right now. You can change the hairstyle. So, okay, let's go with messy. You can change the eye color. Okay, let's dark brown. And here you can, the head add-ons is where you can add things like facial hair. So you right click on that and select new, and it'll give you this thing, this pop-up window here. And you can choose as many of these as you like. So you can re-preview and it'll show up. Add new, let's see. And then re-preview, and it'll add that. You can also choose the eyebrows and eye patch, whatever you like. Okay, so that's good enough for now. The Face Advanced tab lets you precisely control all the different features here. So let's say I wanted to make his nose longer. So then I scroll down here to the nose, and then, well, let's see here. We just play around with the sliders and set it to however you like. So the Face tab lets you choose things like the hair color and the age and the skin tone. Hair length, I don't really think does... Well, I don't know if it doesn't do anything, but it doesn't actually affect the hair length. Like here, if I set it to long, it doesn't change how long his hair is. I think this value is used to calculate something else, but I don't know what that is. The hair color, you can select whatever you like, either by the color picker, or you can choose the RGB values by themselves. So I'm actually gonna change this back. 75. 50, 25, apply. You can also randomly generate faces by clicking generate, and it will just randomly play with the variables. And if you get one you like, you can save it to store it because there's no undo. So you can click save if say you like this one, and you can keep generating. And if you don't like any of the other ones that come up, you can click restore and it will return it to the one that you saved, but you only get one save, so you need to be careful with that. Now, if you don't want to mess around with the sliders and all that stuff, another method that you can use to create, well, not create, but you can copy a face from either the base game, the DLC, or another mod. That's where we need FNVEdit. So before you can do this, you need to save your plugin and close the GECK entirely, because you can't have the plugin loaded in two separate programs at the same time. Because if you try to edit the plugin in the second program while it's still open in the first, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. So make sure you save your plugin and exit the GECK before you open the plugin in FNVEdit. I'm not actually going to make any changes in this tutorial just for the sake of expediency, so I'm not actually going to bother. But if you're going to do it for real, you should close the GECK first. So when FNVEdit has been loaded, you can right-click on this and select None, and then select your plugin, and it will automatically select the Fallout New Vegas ESM. If you're if the face that you want to copy is like from one of the DLCs or whatever, you could also check whatever DLC that is, and then or whatever mod that you want to copy the face from, and then just click OK and wait for it to load. So once FNVEdit has finished loading, you can go to whichever plugin or a master file that the face that you want is in. Scroll down to the non-player character subheading, and then choose the one that you want. So let's say we want to copy Father Elijah's face data. So you select the entry and scroll down to this face gen data section. And what we're going to want to do is double click on each of these lines and copy the face gen data. You're going to want to do this to all three. You can paste this in Notepad for if you don't want to have to keep scrolling back and forth, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to show you how to do this real quick. So you go to your NPC and then right click and edit. It's going to throw up this new warning, and just click yes, I'm sure. And you can just paste the data in. Go back up here. Select all. Copy. Edit and paste. Go back up. Copy. Edit. Paste. Okay. And then now you just hit Control S, save your plugin, and you can load it back up in the GECK. So once you have your NPC the way you want it, what we can do now is edit the stats. So to do that, we're going to change the stats in this custom class that I made. So we're going to scroll up here to AAACLAS Customizable Companion. And you can change this full name if you like, but it doesn't show up in the game, so even if you don't, it doesn't matter. No one's ever going to see it. And what we want to do is change the special stats in this base attributes field over here. So let's say 6 strength, 6 perception, 4 endurance, 4 charisma, 6 intelligence, 4 agility, and we'll just leave luck at 5. Now the tag skills here, you don't want to select them in the class field, because if you do, these 3 skills that you select are going to recalculate by themselves every time the companion levels up. So that means these 3 skills will automatically improve every time the companion levels up without any input from the player, which if you want, you can do it that way, but I have a contingency in the script to handle it so that it gives that 15-point boost at the start, and then the rest is up to the player. So if you want more control over exactly how your companion develops, then don't select the tag skills here. Just change the special attributes and then click OK. And then here in the stats tab of the NPC, you'll see that our special stats have been automatically populated in this field here, and that it affects the values of the starting skills that our character has. At this point, you can go through and change, the base health, the amount of fatigue they have, their aggression, confidence, who they help, what their default mood is, and all that sort of stuff to whatever you like. And now we're going to also edit the inventory. I've already preloaded the inventory with companion armor and weapons, which are marked as non-playable so that the player cannot take these from the companion. They will always stay with the companion and can only be used by them. So this here, to edit the armor, you can go to AAA ARMO Customizable Companion Outfit and AAA ARMO Customizable Companion Headgear. You can double click on these and change the name and all these values to whatever you want. What I usually do is open up a base game armor and just copy that. So for instance here, let's say I want it to look like leather armor. Then I'll go to the armor tab under items and type leather. Double click that and then just copy all these values here. The value doesn't really matter since it's never going to be taken away from the companion, so the player will never be able to sell this armor, so it doesn't really matter. The repair list also doesn't really matter because I don't think the companion armor degrades. But if you can still do it if you like, but I don't think it doesn't really do anything for gameplay purposes. Oh, and also you need to be careful about any object effects that the armor has. Some of them, this one doesn't have any, but some of them, like they say, gives +5 guns or +1 strength or whatever. You need to be careful with that because if you copy those, the companion will max out their skills early. So like if you have a +5 guns, they could max out the gun skill because of the 5 that this outfit grants, and then if you take away the outfit, he will lose that and then leave it at 95 guns and have no way to get that final 5% back. So if you're going to make your own custom armor, I would recommend not to have any object effects assigned. Now the thing I don't like about the GECK is that you can't just copy this and then paste it here. It won't let you do that. You have to actually extract this mesh from the archive and then into the correct folder, and then click edit and then navigate through all those folders to manually select the mesh. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. This is where I'm going to use Fallout Mod Manager. And if you don't want to use this, you can use any kind of archive tool. But I like this one because it's built in and I don't have to install a special thing. So here you just go to Tools, BSA Browser, and then open up Fallout Meshes.bsa. And then let's say leather armor. And we have a male, so we only really need to extract the male one. If you want a female one, you can, because this thing is unique to the companion themselves. No one else will ever use this particular set of armor, so you don't have to fill in both the male and the female fields. If you can just fill in the one that your character is actually going to use. So here, meshes/armor/leather armor/m/outfitm.nif, extract. So meshes, armor. If the folder doesn't exist, you can create it. Leather armor, M, and outfit M. Save. And then now we can close this, click on Edit, Edit, and then go find wherever that armor was. Click OK. The world model doesn't matter because the companion isn't going to drop this armor, and the icon image doesn't matter because the player is never going to pick it up and it's not going to show up on their Pip-Boy, so it doesn't matter. Click OK, and we don't need that anymore. You can do the same thing for the headgear. If you have a helmet or glasses or a hat or whatever that you want your companion to wear, but I'm not going to bother. And the weapons are done the same way. So if we scroll down here, items, weapon, I have melee and ranged weapons. So just open this up and then copy. Usually what I do is just copy a base game weapon. So like for instance, 10mm pistol. You open up this one and then just copy all the stat. Well, leave the ammunition to ammo companion because the special ammo that the companions use will never run out. But other than that, you can copy like the number of bullets in the magazine, the weight, the durability, and all that sort of stuff. And under the Art and Sound tab, the model is you will have to extract the 10mm pistol mesh because again, you can't just copy and then paste. It won't let you do that. So you're going to have to do the same thing as you did with the armor. I'm not going to cover it again, but if you need to, you can just rewind the video and do the same thing, but with the pistol. The first person model object, I would just leave it as none because it doesn't really matter. The player's never going to pick up this weapon, so they're never going to see it from first person. That doesn't matter. But copy all the projectile data, the impact set data, and all the animations and stuff. The mod info, again, doesn't matter because companion weapons aren't moddable, so you can just leave this blank. Now, if you want to change what items the companion has when they die, then you can open up this the leveled list, AAA LVLI Customizable Companion Death Item. So I'm just going to scroll back down here and open this up. So why you might want to do this is if, for instance, you have the custom leather armor and a custom 10mm pistol or whatever, that is not going to show up in the companion's inventory if they're killed because they're marked as non-playable. So the player will never be able to get those items. But if you want the player to be able to get, say, the base game leather armor and a base game 10mm pistol when the companion is dead, you can do that here. So all you need to do is find whichever weapon that you had, that you copied, and drag and drop it into this field. So armor, leather armor, just drag and drop right here, and then click OK. Maybe you want to add some a few 10mm bullets or whatever as well. It's up to you. Oh, one more thing about the death items list. You can also change the item health. So if you don't want the weapon to be pristine, because obviously your companion's been using it, it wouldn't make sense that it was at 100% health. You can change it here to whatever you like, 35, 50%, whatever you want. Or another option is to add the leveled items that that will choose the appropriate health for the player's level. So for instance, here, if I say leather armor here, for these conditioned leather armor, so level 1, it could be randomly spawn either one at 15%, 25%, 35%, or 45% health. You can just kind of drag that there. And for the pistol, I like to use the with ammo weapon name and then NPC. So here it will have the pistol at whatever health percentage is appropriate for the player's level, as well as some ammo and some spent cases. So you can just drag and drop another leveled list into this leveled list, and that will work as well. Now, if you don't want your companion to use the companion only weapons and armor, you just want them to use the base game armor and weapons for the sake of simplicity, you can just delete all of these entries and then just drag and drop whichever items that you want. Now, if you do use the base weapons and base armor, again, keep in mind the status effects that the armor could give, but also you need to add the correct type of ammo for the weapon that they're using, because I think New Vegas, the companions use up ammo. So here, if you only give him one 10mm bullet, once he's shot that one, he'll run out and he won't be able to use this weapon again. So, give him, 100 or 1,000 or whatever, or just use the custom companion ammo, which the custom weapon which uses the companion ammo that doesn't run out. So now we're going to set the tag skills in the actor script. So AAA SCPT Customizable Companion Actor. You double click this and it will load up the actor's personal script, and you scroll down here to this on load block. In the if tag skills do once equals 0 condition, you can change these 3 lines here to have whatever tag skill that you want. So let's say guns, repair, and sneak, I guess. And then make sure you delete these semicolons in front of the line. Those are comment lines, so that it means that the script will ignore any line that has the semicolon here. So just delete those 3, click save, and you can close it. And you will have those tag skills will be given the 15 point starting bonus. If you want, you can change this to whatever you like, so you can have the companion start out with usually the base is 15, so it'll add another 15 here. So if you want it to be 50, you can add you can change it to 35, and then your companion will start out with 50 guns. So if you can change it however you like. You can also add more lines, so you could just copy this, paste it, and then just change this to, say, energy weapons or whatever, and you can maximize all their skills at the start if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I'm not going to save this script here. No. Now this next step is optional, but all of these messages can be changed. So here it says, your companion has managed to max out all their stats at level whatever. So here you can change these to your companion's name if you want it to be consistent. So John Doe has managed to max out all his stats at level whatever. This percent period 0f is a variable that will display whatever number is sent to this message from the calling script. You don't need to worry about that. But here, so you can just change all of these. Oops. What? Oh yeah. Okay. Ignore all. So change all of these. Oh, that one doesn't have it. So here, for instance, your companion has died. You can change it to John Doe has died. And some of the perks also should be changed. Lockpick, for instance, has this entry point thing that's where the button label says "Ask Companion for Help." you can change that to say, ask John Doe for help. So the lockpick, the science, and I think it's the strength one. Yes, strength. Ask John Doe to kick down. Okay. And yeah, so you don't have to do that. I set it up so that it's gender neutral, and even if you don't change it, it'll still make sense when the message shows up in the corner of the screen. But for consistency's sake, if you want to, you can do that as well. And now we're going to talk about dialogue. So dialogue is handled by quests in New Vegas. So in this case, I have one AAA QUST Customizable Companion Control quest. In the topics, conversation, combat, and detection tabs, they all have different entries here that I've already pre-filled out. You just need to choose what you want your companion to say. So, for instance, greeting, a first-time greeting. This can be anything from, oh, hey, it's nice to meet you, to, oh, you got a problem for bothering, you got a reason for bothering me, asshole. You can, it'll say this just one time, the first time that the companion meets the player, and then these other ones will just be generic ones, like like hey or what's up. So you can change that to whatever you like. And I'm not going to get really in depth into how to record dialogue, but I'm gonna leave a link in the description to Sedin4494's channel, where he has a video that tells you how to do this in depth. But basically, you can just say, hey, nice to meet you, and then you can choose the emotion type. The emotion values need to be really high. The Bethesda games tend to have really understated emotions, so even happy 100 will not look all that much different from neutral 50, but you can still play around with that if you like. And down here, because the companion has a unique voice type, it'll only show the one entry, and what you need to do is put the voice file that you want to use in this path. So I'm gonna have to expand this so that it shows the whole path. And so right now the file name is still FNV Customizable Companion Framework.esp. If you change the name of the plugin, this path will change as well. So here, sound, data, sound, voice, and then here it says FNV Customizable Companion Framework. So I would have to create a new folder. .esp, oops, framework.esp, and then I'd have to create a new folder for the voice type, AAAVTYP Customizable Companion. And then what you would do is copy the WAV file that you record into this folder, and then you can copy this voice file name. And then, so let's, well, I'm just going to create a text document. Let's pretend this is the WAV file, hello.wave. So let's say this is the recorded voice file that I had. You can just change, you can copy this file name, paste it in here. And then when you close out this greeting and then open it up again, you'll notice here it says, under the wave, it shows yes. So that means it found the WAV file. and then but you need a lip file to have the companion's lips move in time with the word. So what you would do is select this, click the From Wave radio button, and then click Generate Lip File. Now, this isn't actually a wave file, so I can't do it right now, but that's how you would create the lip sync after you've installed that phonicsdata.cdf file that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so now if you look at the file name up here, I've changed it to FNV Customizable Companion John Doe close bracket. So if you do that and change the ESP name, it's going to also change this file path here. So you notice now it says data/sound/voice/FNV Customizable Companion John Doe.esp. So what you're going to have to do then is come here, and all you need to do is rename this to match your ESP. And notice how here it says the wave file is not found. You know, once you've changed it here and reopen this, now it'll find the wave file, and if you have recorded a lip file, it will say that it's found there as well. Okay, so that takes care of the dialogue for now. We're going to come back to this later, but for now we can just close out of this. This next part is where you're going to have to decide where you want your companion to start off in the game, and we're going to have to place him in that cell. So down here in the cell view, pane under the interiors world space, you just type AAA, and we're going to find here AAA-CELL Customizable Companion hidden. And double click on this, and it's going to load it up in the render window. And you'll notice that it's only got two things in it. So double click on one of these to center our view on our companion here. And so this is the persistent world reference for our companion, and this is the companion's home marker, which is where the companion is going to return to when you fire him. We are going to have to place this somewhere where the player will actually be able to interact with them, to hire them, and so on. So what we're going to do is drag and or select both of these references and hit Control-C. And now we're going to decide where we want to place him. So I'm just going to use the Goodsprings Saloon. So I think that's GS Prospect. Yeah, here we go. GS Prospector Saloon Interior. So double click on this to load it up. And when that cell is loaded, let's see, where are we here? Okay, so I'm going to hit M to hide some of the markers so it's not so busy, and just select a place to put our companion here. Make sure not to press Control-V to paste. You want to press Control-M, because that will keep the reference IDs intact, which the scripts need to function. If you press Control-V, it's going to create a duplicate of the NPC and the home marker, and they're not going to be attached to anything. The scripts don't know to reference those. So hit Control-M, and it'll pop up this thing asking you, do you want to move the references? Click yes. And our NPC appears here. If I press M again, it'll show back the home marker, and then just press F to drop him to the floor. Oh, F. There we go. And now our companion is in the world, and you'll be able to interact with him when you enter the Goodsprings Saloon. Okay, now that our companion is in the world space, we're going to go back to the dialogue quest, Topics tab, and the About Who Are You. This has an incomplete condition here. You'll notice how it says get in cell invalid. This condition is designed to make it so that this conversation topic only appears when the companion has not been hired and when the companion is in a specific cell. So I left it as invalid because I don't know what cell you want your companion to start in. But to change this, since we placed him in the GS Prospector Saloon interior, that's where we're going to change this value to. So just double click on that value, and then function parameters, it says invalid, click on that, and it'll show this this little window here. And now you can choose the cell. We're just going to type GS Prospector Saloon interior. Click OK. Make sure the comparison is equals to and 1, and OK. And so now this topic will only be available if the companion is not hired and if the companion is in the saloon. Click OK, and we're done. So that concludes this video tutorial on how to use my Customizable Companion Framework. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave one in on the comments page of my Nexus Mods mod page. This is better than YouTube because I don't check YouTube comments. So that's all for now, and happy modding.